It's Thursday, April 18. In the headlines, an endorsement for Cheetah Robot powered by AI in schools. Senator Morris Dixon says NIDS will be voluntary. In business news, Staten says cost of food and non-alcoholic beverages rose in March. Regionally, CARICOM develops a policy framework for regional sustainability. And in sports, women's CPL to take place in Trinidad and Tobago in August. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon is minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, and she's denouncing what she describes as misinformation about the National Identification System, NIDS, making rounds in social media. She addressed the matter at Wednesday's post-cabinet press brief. Senator Morris Dixon has direct oversight for skills and digital transformation on which the NIDS falls. She says getting the national ID will be voluntary.
And so anyone who sees WhatsApp messages like this going around really need to delete them, and also to note to the person who has sent it that this is false information. And we're seeing this more and more in our country and generally in the world too. We see these efforts at misinformation and disinformation.
Noting that access to government services is a right for every Jamaican, she rubbished rumors that certain services will be withheld for those who do not opt to get a national ID. She adds that transparency will be key in the rollout of the system.
For example, with a bank and you're trying to open an account, you will give the bank several pieces of information. In many instances, they do verify them. They verify through third parties. With your NIDS ID, they will also verify. And they will call on the NIDS system and they will verify that this ID is an authentic national ID.
And as for the rumor that persons will be fined for not having the national ID?
That will never happen because, again, the law is very, very, very clear that this is a voluntary exercise. And of course, we think that there will be benefit from having this ID that has all of the information embedded in it and you can verify it and has all these security features attached to it.
Senator Morris Dixon says 300 people signed up for the pilot program last year, and the technical process is being tweaked based on the data collected.
They tested the system so that tweaks could be made to it. And they did, and Dr. Vernon is here and he can speak to it, but they even looked at how our sign-up desks were configured, especially for persons with disabilities. Was it configured properly? How did someone sign? Should the signing thing be on the right or on the left? There was a lot of that kind of intelligence that was gained from it. After that pilot, they tweaked many elements of the sign-up process, and then they went into further development of the program and ensured that the security protocols, because it needs the key thing is security, and making sure those security protocols were as robust as possible, and also starting the renovation of the post offices because the sign-up points will be post offices.
The project executing unit and the PBS consortium have successfully integrated various systems such as pre-enrollment, online enrollment, queue management, and identity management. The system is now able to personalize national identification cards with digital certificates as one of the final layers of protection for card holders. Sabrina Raymond Hunter, senior teacher at Alpha Infant School, has given her endorsement to the Cheetah Robot, a cutting-edge educational tool powered by AI. This innovative creation, developed by Cheetah Toys and More LLC, is tailored to enhance the learning experience for young children, particularly those at the infant and early primary stages. More in this report from Denise Rodney.
The Cheetah is meticulously engineered to captivate and educate children in their formative years from infancy to early primary stages. Its dynamic and interactive approach not only fosters enjoyment but also nurtures cognitive growth, laying a solid foundation for future academic achievements. During a JIS think tank session on April 16, Mrs. Raymond Hunter highlighted the transformative potential of this groundbreaking technology in enriching the educational journey of young learners.
I am really excited to be here today, really excited about this product. I was able to get this into my classroom. I'm a classroom teacher. I have 23 students right now, and they are super excited about this. We had it for 3 weeks, and this is a game changer, definitely.
The senior teacher highlighted key features available on the robot.
On Cheetah, you can find science and math, and there are a lot of other activities that helps with critical thinking on there. So there are games. Most of it is games, and that's how children learn. It's repetition, it's games. Once it is fun, they'll remember it. So the apps are on there. You can find the math app, the there are a lot of different activities. So when you get this, you will not be disappointed. And mind you, I'm from Alpha Infant, and this is infant, but definitely for primary schools also.
With first-hand experience of the technology's efficacy, Mrs. Raymond Hunter advocates for other schools to embrace it.
I'm just encouraging all the other schools, because my school definitely has it, and we're working with it. So I'm encouraging all the other schools to get on board. If for any reason you need a demonstration or anything, come to Alpha. I'll show you exactly how we use it to get our students on board and on level with everyone else. Learning should be fun, and with Cheetah, it definitely is.
The robot comes equipped with a variety of interactive functionalities such as voice recognition, games, and educational content designed to make learning both engaging and thrilling for young minds. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I'm Denise Rodney.
Vendors can now apply to sell their wares in the Jubilee market as renovations near completion. The market was gutted by fire several years ago, and work has been taking place to restore and upgrade the facility. Mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew, Andrew Swaby, says they can apply at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. He says the incoming vendors will be responsible for their own electricity bills. He says 40 stalls have been erected, and the CEO and his team has been ordered to present to the council how the entity will recruit people and ensure that they sign off on an agreement. Mayor Swaby says changes will also be made in terms of the collection of fees, adding that the stalls will be repossessed if a vendor is in arrears for a particular period of time. The International Monetary Fund says the global economy has shown resilience during disinflation, a temporary slowing of the pace of price inflation. But at 3.2% projected for 2024 and 2025, global growth remains below the 3.8% historical average. The finance body says reforms that foster productivity can help boost growth over the medium term. More in the IMF's latest World Economic Outlook. Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. Jamaica-based remittance company JN Money and digital card marketplace Gift.me have partnered to allow persons to send electronic gift cards to Jamaicans from across the diaspora. Starting in May, people will be able to walk into a JN Money branch in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and Cayman and purchase a Gift.me e-gift card for their friends and family in Jamaica. Gift.me CEO and co-founder Rishario Billings says the partnership with JN Money will provide a boost to local merchants, giving them more direct access to the coveted diaspora market. The 3-year-old company partnered with over 350 merchants and over 400 companies in Jamaica which have used their services for rewards and recognition. The average cost for food and non-alcoholic beverages rose by 4.8% on an annual basis as at March, the RJR Newsroom reports. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica says, however, that for the month of March alone, there was a 1.8% decline in the index. This was mainly attributed to a 2% fall in the food group. The cost of vegetables, tubers, plantains, cooking bananas, and pulses, which declined by 8.6%, factored into the decline. Decreases in the prices of tomato, yam, sweet potato, cabbage, and carrot also affected the group. Statin says this decrease was moderated by increases in the index of the classes cereal and cereal products and meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals. During trading on April 17, 2024, the top 3 advancing stocks covered the technology and finance sectors on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. T-Tech shares advanced by 11.27% for a 23-cent price increase to close at $2.27 with 1,899 shares traded. JMMB 9.5% shares advanced 10.94% for a 14-cent upward movement to close at $1.42 with 6,000 shares traded. Lasco Financial Services Limited shares advanced 10.4% for an 18-cent jump in price to close at $1.91 with 702 shares traded. On the declining stocks that traders experienced on April 17, 2024, the top 3 losers covered the transport and distribution sectors. Knutsford Express Services Limited declined by 8.53% for a 98-cent price decline to close at $10.51 with 11,430 shares traded. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances Limited declined by 7.06% or a 12-cent drop in price to close at $1.58 with 10,001 shares traded. Paramount Trading Jamaica Limited declined by 6.9% for a 10-cent downward price pressure to close at $1.35 with 137 shares traded. Over on the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, trading on April 17, 2024, trading activity on the first-tier market registered a volume of 134,000 shares crossing the floor of the exchange valued at $3,029,795 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 12 cents. Massey Holdings Limited was the volume leader with 66,356 shares, changing hands for a value of $288,196 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 76 cents, followed by Republic Financial Holdings Limited with a volume of 17,367 shares being traded for $2,066,457 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 92 cents. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On April 17, 2024, Bank of Jamaica reported that US $57.7 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $50.2 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $156.43 and bought US dollars for $154.92. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.51, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $13.72 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $124.95 and bought for $111.23. For traders looking at a British pound, they pocketed a profit of $7.34, selling it for $195.79 and buying it for $188.45. For our credit report tip of the day, having different types of credit options means you can achieve your life goals faster, provided you have a plan in place to pay back the debt. So make a plan to work with your banker to come up with a plan to diversify your credit. So the plan to get to your banker is to talk about when it's a good time to open new accounts and which ones might be best for you. Agree on how many credit accounts you can handle at once without causing problems. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, the sustainable management of the region's environmental and natural resources is a topic for CARICOM. This as it moves to tackle global challenges that could impact the bloc's sustainable development. Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett says the Caribbean Community Environment and Natural Resources Policy Framework is expected to be formally launched at the upcoming 4th International Conference on Small Islands Developing States in Antigua and Barbuda.
The framework acknowledges the vital role that land, air, water, and oceans play in sustaining the economic, social, and environmental development of the community. The framework also provides the basis on which a Caribbean community biodiversity strategy aligned to the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework is being finalized for ministerial approval. The strategy will guide our member states and development partners towards harmonized action for the management, conservation, and fair and sustainable use of the region's biodiversity resources.
We are one of the few countries in the world, even though we're an oil-producing nation, we are still carbon negative. We still have a forest and drop 19.5 gigaton of carbon. That is almost 95 to 98% virgin standing forests. That is what we boast as a country.
In Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says no stone will be left unturned during the probe into the death of 8 babies at the Port of Spain General Hospital. We have more in this report.
Prime Minister Rowley expressed sadness over the deaths, but said while there are some in the country who will use the opportunity to point blame, the nation needs the facts.
For me as Prime Minister, I simply want to know what happened in Port of Spain General Hospital. It is easy to take the easy way out and to say things that are not supported by facts. We as a nation, we need the facts. We need to know. And we will leave no stone unturned to find out what happened in Port of Spain General.
The Prime Minister advised the nation to wait on the findings of an independent investigation into the matter. He said there are processes to follow, and as a nation, we can only do better and be better by finding out exactly what happened.
I have been informed that the Pan American Health Organization is invited to do an independent inquiry. Let us await the outcome of that and see what has happened, because it is very painful, but we want to make sure that we're treating the facts of the situation.
The babies who were born prematurely died of bacterial infections in the neonatal intensive care unit at the Port of Spain General Hospital. 7 of them died between April 4th and 7th, and 1 died on March 16th.
Guyanese have been gaining steadily since the Local Content Act was rolled out. This law carves out specific opportunities for Guyanese in the nascent oil and gas sector. And since 2022, a total of $524 million has been earned by Guyanese suppliers and workers in the sector. But by the end of this year, head of the Local Content Secretariat, Martin Paterba, says that figure should increase to US $550 million.
Business opportunity this year, we anticipate business opportunities for local companies to increase to somewhere around $550 million US, which is 25% when compared to 2022. And that would have been based on the submission of 40 annual plans, which is a document that tier 1 companies, the operator, etc., have to submit to us. We have already gone through those plans. We have already analyzing those numbers. In fact, they have already presented to us also the performance report, which speaks to last year's performance. And based on that, last year's expenditure of business opportunities to local companies came up to somewhere around $524 million. But while, of course, business opportunity is good also, we want to speak about some more about some employment. Currently, around 6,000 Guyanese are employed in the industry, which represents 67% of total employment. And this year alone, based on our assessment, we expect to see an additional new hire of 787 Guyanese, of which 548 would be in the technical field, 202 non-technical, and 37 managerial. So that is important because the anticipation or the projected new hires would speak to need for added skill set. And what we have been doing at the Secretariat also, there are several measures that we plan to put in place. Last year we started a paid internship program, not only an internship program, but students must be paid while they're at working at the tier 1 companies. We have met with some of the technical institutes in Georgetown, and we have managed to put or allow somewhere around 25 students to work with various tier 1 companies. It's been quite a successful engagement. It was more or less of a piloted project. So this year we're a bit ambitious and we're aiming for 100 students. So based on our engagement with 40 companies, by the end of this month we're planning to have students in their final year of their technical diploma at the various technical institutes, and not only restricted to the GTI. We're focusing across Guyana. We want to look at the one in Maikuni, the one in Lenora, even Anai, Linden, all of the all technical institutes. We'll be reaching out to them. We want to ensure that students are given an opportunity.
In sports, we're in the creases with cricket. The 2024 Massey Women's Caribbean Premier League will take place in Trinidad and Tobago from the 21st to the 29th of August.
The tournament will feature 3 teams: Barbados Royals, Guyana Amazon Warriors, and the Tobago Knight Riders. The league will feature 6 group games before the top 2 teams meet the final on the 29th of August. This will be the first time that the WCPL has taken place before the Men's Caribbean Premier League, with the best female talent from across the region and around the world taking part. CEO of the CPL, Pete Russell, extended his gratitude to TNT for agreeing to host the tournament in its entirety. He noted the great part of this country is playing to enhance women's sport. Minister of Sport and Community Development Shamfa Lewis, in her response, said the government and people of TNT are delighted to host the league, where the extraordinary talent of women in sport from across the region will be showcased. She also made mention of the continuous effort to market TNT as a sport tourism destination.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.